everyone, it's almost Christmas, and I thought I'd just pop on with a little festive message at the start of this video. I did previously record a little intro for this video, but unfortunately the audio failed on me, so I've had to scrap that and re-record it, and I thought it would be quite cool because I've got no face on to appear as an elf for you today. You might like that, you might think I'm mad, but here we are. So today's video is just well, I've recorded it almost as a live because we're not doing the lives over Christmas. I just thought you might like it, so that's what I've done. So I'm making a really quick and quite simple card. It uses one of our stencils. It uses our sentiment strips, which are so good for quick and easy cards. It uses the new Winter Wishes wreath stamp set as well. So I really hope you enjoy it. I'm going to switch the view now and say goodbye to the elf, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.
So today I'm going to be playing with a stencil. So this is our gorgeous flower burst stencil. I absolutely love this stencil. I've not used it nearly as much as I wanted to, but I think this will make for a really pretty card. I'm going to use our small circle masking stencil as well. I've already cut my focal panel from one of the A2 layering dies, and we're going to use an A2 card base for this. And then I'm also going to use probably one of the sentiments from our winter our Winter Wishes wreath stamp and die set. So in this stamp set we have got the Joy sentiment, which does die cut, which is really handy, but we could also heat emboss some of the other sentiments as well. And we've also then got this Sending Winter Hugs as well, which is really nice because it's curved, which might then work with our circle aperture as well. So a few different options there that we can use to pop this together. So I'm going to start by doing our stenciled background. So I'm going to take our panel here, and I've got my Wendy Vici, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm sorry if I'm absolutely butchering your name, Wendy, but I'm going to use my Make Art Station because this will just protect my surface. So I'm just going to add this to the back. Now, I also want to add just the circle element just here so that we can add our sentiment in the center there, which I think will look really, really cool. So I'm going to use some of my stick and spray to do that. I think that's going to be the easiest way. Now, I do have a little spray box that I'm going to use to help me spray that. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a shake up. You're meant to leave this for 30 seconds. So just give it a little, from 15 centimeters, give it a little spray, a light spray, doesn't need loads. Just put that back and then give it 30 seconds for that adhesive to start working. So I've just done this under my desk, so now everything under my desk is probably a bit sticky. So back to our project. I think based on that I am going to use the candied apple, and then I think I am probably going to use maybe some evergreen bough and some pine needles. And we're going to go I've been inspired by a project that I saw online on YouTube, and I just really liked the way that this looked. So I'm just going to try my best here to line this up, and I'm not going to worry about pulling out all of the leaves and making sure that all my leaves are, you know, green and all of my flowers are red. That's not the intention of this. The intention of this is to make something that looks really very bright, fun and festive. But I am going to pull out a little bit of green. So I'm going to look for my really small blender brush, which will really help me isolate some colours. And then I'm going to use, I don't think I've got a medium brush for my reds, so I'm just going to use this this large brush, which is perfect for this. So I'm going to start with the red. In fact, no, I'm going to pull out my green first. I think that might be the easiest bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to take some of this evergreen bough, and I'm going to just randomly select some green bits. Oh, I love that green. The evergreen bough, I've not really been that aware of it until very recently, and I absolutely love the colour of it. And in the Distress Oxides, it is really, really creamy, so it is absolutely beautiful. So we'll just pull out a little bit of that colour there and maybe there. So I'm just keeping it, you know, really quite random, and maybe that one there. So I don't want there to be too much really, but I want it to, it's almost taking us through our story here. So I'm imagining it starting at this top corner and then bringing us all the way down into this corner. So that's kind of what I've been, you know, from my eye perspective, that's what I was thinking. Like I say, used the stick and spray on here to make sure that that circle is stuck down, but I am just going to hold on to it. Just, it gives me a nice resting space for my fingers anyway, because I don't want to put them on my project and get my inky fingers everywhere. And I'm being quite careful not to go over that green, because that will make a bit of a muddy colour, but I do want to get a really nice deep red to my flowers. So I'm just going to be a little bit careful how I apply. It's not the end of the world if we go over it. We can always go back over that green. The Distress Oxides are quite opaque, so it does allow you to build up colour in that way. So I think we've got pretty much everywhere, but like I say, I think I might want to darken that up, and my barn door isn't going to do that for me. So I'm thinking maybe fired brick. So I haven't swatched this, so we are definitely going rogue here and taking a chance on this one. So I'm just going to rub off my my brush a little, because it is quite full of ink. The reds, I think, like with most things, really quite juicy. It's the same with my markers. The reds seem to be the most powerful and pigmented of the colours, which is nice in some ways, because you do get a nice depth. Oh, I've just moved that slightly. But it also can mean that you can easily make mistakes or create smudges and end up with it in places that you didn't quite bank on. So That's really good. And I don't want to darken it up so much that we lose the lovely bright intensity of the red. This is what I want, is, you know, beautiful, bright, wintry finish. So it's like turning this into almost into poinsettias is my my vision in my head. So, first of all, remove our circle, which seems to have done its thing. And then we can remove our background. Yes. And how pretty is that? So we're going to pop this up onto an A2 card blank, which I think is going to look really nice just on a white card base. So I'm just going to score that properly and then pop that on there, and that just looks really, really pretty. Or we can use one of these sentiments. Joy fits really nicely in the middle of there. And we could use then one of our sentiment strips. Got some of these already cut out, and the ones that are the metallic ones, the ones that have been foiled, do look really very, very cool. So the Merry Christmas across the bottom of there with the joy in the middle, I like that a lot. So we do have, this is my little swatch of cardstock, and I do have this beautiful green glitter, which I think would look really, really pretty. So I'm going to see what that looks like when we cut out the joy sentiment. Obviously we've not used the stamp, we're just going to try using the die. We'll see what that looks like. So I'm going to have to trim down my Merry Christmas very, very slightly. So I'm just going to snip the end off there, so they're a bit more even. That's perfect. Okay, so we can start assembling this now. I'm just going to use my foam here to cut another joy. Let's just excuse my head if it now gets into view, but I do just need to do my best to line this up as straight as is humanly possible for me, who is no good at doing straight lines. And that will go across there. And then our popped up joy will just, look at that, that's so beautiful. And I'm just going to pop that on top of there, and that will create a beautiful amount of height to the back of our sentiment. So let's apply some glue just to the back of this. Oh, fingers just decided to stop holding things. And we'll just pop that onto there. Obviously, if you've got coloured foam, then that might be a great option as well, because obviously you can use your coloured option to add that dimension, and then you won't see any of the white behind there. But the white behind the O works for us because we want to give the illusion of you being able to see through that O. So we'll get this popped up into here. And this, I'm finding this really, really pretty and sweet. And then do we pop up the Merry Christmas? Because I think so, because we've popped up the joy. We've got dimension there. Now these sentiment strips are awesome. I had already foiled these just using some deco foil. They are printed onto toner ink, which means that they are absolutely perfect for your foiling. And I just think this just adds a little bit of something extra that is super Christmassy. So I just think it works so well. But again, you could do this at any time of year. It doesn't have to be Christmas. Now, I do think it needs a couple of sequins. I'm feeling the sequins at the moment, guys. I'm on the sequin train, and I'm wondering whether some black ones will do the trick, you know, just for a bit of contrast. I just feel like that might look quite cool. So I'm just going to dot a few on here and see where they might look best. We want to, again, it's about this journey through the through our picture or through our design. So we really want to you know, kind of follow that principle of it taking us on a journey. So and that's kind of cute. That's quite sweet. What do we think to the black? Quite like that. Tucked under there. We could add a few more because it's Christmas, and we could do what we want at the end of the day. I don't like to go too mad, and I don't want to be too literal and kind of add them to the center of flowers. I don't feel like that really adds anything. But I mean, it can look cute, but it's not really adding anything to the design as such. So again, we've got that journey through our design, but it might be a bit much because we want to keep it focused around this sentiment in the center. So I think that maybe this one up here I quite like. And I'm just looking at this on screen just to see, right, does that move me in any way? It's not an odd number. That's the only thing that bothers me slightly, but I feel that the only one that we could move would be that one, and I feel like that one's really needed. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to go with it because why the devil not? And I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers sticky tool, and it's also a pokey tool at the other end. I've not used this before, but my other sticky tool seems to have lost its stickiness, so I thought I'd give it a try, and so far so good. So I'm going to use glossy accents to stick these down, because that does mean and what I did like about my other pokey tool, which was my quick sticks tool, it had this end, which is good for just positioning things once I'd applied my glue and I'd stuck. So I'll just have to keep using it for that. That's fine, it's all good. And that can go on there, and then pick this one. We'll pop that one down first, because this one here I feel like might need trimming down a little bit, because I want it to fit. I might just squidge under there actually, because when I do cut things down, I do tend to lose them halfway across the room. So if I can push it under there without having to cut it in half, I think that's probably a bonus. And there we have it. That is our finished card. I'll just show you the shimmeriness and glitteriness of our sentiments there, and then that bold red background is just so awesome, isn't it? Love it. Really clean and simple, plenty of dimension to it. Really cool card, easy one to make, that one. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back again with some more tutorials really soon. Bye guys. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. I really hope you liked the video. If you did, it would be awesome if you could like and subscribe to our channel. And you'll also find us on social media, on Facebook, Pinterest and Instagram. And I'll see you for another video really soon.